Alright, grade 9. I hope that you are doing well today. So, we have already spoken about math tests yesterday, and we have been examined for mathematics yesterday. So today we will continue speaking about math tests. We will just make a quick reminder about the explanation of the measurement of academic progress, which is math test. Math refers to measure of academic progress. So we'll speak about sample of the reports and also how can your parents make a very good use out of math test and also support you in the areas where you are needed. We have first started by speaking about the measures of the academic progress, and that map growth is a computer adaptive test, meaning that you can take it from anywhere in the world just by using your computer. You just only are asked to enter the session's name and also the session password. And if you answer the question correctly, then the next question is gonna be more challenges, as we have spoken yesterday, like this here. That's the question. If you answer it wrong, you are going. The next one is gonna be a little bit challenging, okay? And then if you answer that right, a little bit challenging. If you answer it wrong, it goes back to the previous level of the question. And of course, this type of assessment challenges the top performance without even overwhelming student whose skills are below grade level. So it's only about what you have already covered and what you have already studied. And from doing so, all we need to do is just to know your level. How does the map work? Well, students themselves are asked in reading and mathematics on a computer. Tests are about 1 hour long. Of course, it varies from one student to another. Some students finish in 40 minutes, others finish in 1 hour, others use more than 1 hour. So it's according to the students. And the reports are provided after each test to show the growth. And here the growth we need that, or we are speaking about not only the growth of your specific test that you have had, yet about all the tests that you have been tested before. So if you went to math growth right now, for example, okay. If you went to the map growth report, and let's see students portfolio. This student, for example. Okay. So the report here connects what you have already been tested to the one you have just been tested. So it's not only about one single specific exam. Okay, not only one specific exam, but it's about all the exam. Like here, for example, in 2018, the student got a very bad mark. In 2019, in 2020, his level with RIT score became very, very high, 224, and that's great. As per in 2021, that's 121, and for yesterday's one, he got 225. So the student's level is growing, and that's what we need about math test, to study and to know a growth of the student's level. Okay, so that's the most important thing about math test. So that is show the growth of the students, the areas of strength, and also the area that needs to be improved. And we have also spoken about the reading and the math. So how does math measure? Similar to a growth chart, the one that we have spoken about at the beginning of the session, math tests measure your own students' growth in mathematics, reading, and also language usage. The scale used to measure progress is not feet and inch, but RIT scale, and we will speak about the RIT right now. The report provided the scores for each skill area to determine the strength and also the areas to improve and overall score. So, what is an RIP highlighter? So, to speak about the RIT, okay, we need to know, all we need to know is just that this scale, okay, this scale measures the level in academic difficulties. Measure the levels in academic difficulties, meaning that if you have any problem in your academic level, so this scale, the RIT, measures those difficulties so that we can fix them as soon as possible. Okay, so the scale measures levels in academic difficulty. Also, the test finds that level by pinpointing where a student would just as likely answer incorrectly as correctly. So it's not just about answering the question correctly, but it's about why did the student answer incorrectly and how can we fix this problem. Okay. Of course, the map provides information about the instructional level of the student and also provided a roadmap for students towards achieving mastery. It is not a test for determining the mastery of skills. We just are setting you on the level or on the road for mastery. So we're not testing your mastery. We just need you to become masters. For example, here the level of the literature one is from 120 until 250. That's the range. Let's imagine that if a student got an average of 199. Of course, the literature tests a lot of things as we have discussed yesterday about the details about the characters and the literary text, the details about the event, the details about the setting, and determining the causes in the literary text, and also the details in the support main ideas and the effect in the literary. So if the student get an average of 190, for example, okay, from 190 until 100 until 200, an average of 195. So here we need to determine the causes and the characteristics. These are the areas in which we need to work. Okay, so these are the areas in which we need to develop and work on. Of course, we have the nominative data, bringing context to the data. For the grade level norms, the typical performance beginning, middle, and also end of the year. As you have already being tested more than one time a year, we are being tested 3 times a year. At the beginning of the year, we need to determine your level at the beginning of the year, especially for the new kids. Okay, in the middle of the year, we need to see your growth. Are you really going to become better or not? And at the end of the year, also we need to test your growth so that we can test whether you gathered enough information or not. So students are being tested from grade 1 until grade 11 3 times a year. At the beginning of the year, in the middle of the year, and also at the end of the year. And all of this helps students and also teacher to determine the weaknesses and also the strengths of the students, and this helps us to set you on the right path. For the goals with the map, we need first to identify the knowledge and skills level of the students in a classroom or grade for placement to improve, or also for differentiated instructions. We need to determine the strength and also the needs of each group for planning ongoing instructions, and also establish the growth goals for each student for ongoing monitoring and also a feedback to each student. So simply it's not about what is your level right now, or are you good in reading, mathematics, or language usage, or not, or what are the areas of your strengths, or also the areas of your weakness. But we need to put a plan for those areas. So if you are strong in mathematics, for example, we need to put a plan to keep you strong and even to develop. If you have some weaknesses in some areas like in language usage or in grammar or anything, so all we need to do is just to put a plan, okay? And this plan must be followed so that we can achieve the growth less value. For map administration in a school, the measurement, of course, of the academic progress growth test, okay, is designed to measure the students' reading readiness for what? Students' readiness for learning specific content and skill. So, for example, you have been learning about mathematics. So we need to know right now if you are ready to learn in the area of mathematics or not. Because after all, what you are studying in mathematics are only the scratch. You didn't have any big theories or something like that. So we need to know your readiness for learning a specific content and a new skill for your whole life, as well as, of course, measuring the academic growth over time. Even in some schools, guys, students in grades from 2 to 8 take the math growth test 3 times each school year, as we have already spoken about. In some other school, kindergarten and first grade students also take math growth at the beginning in 2020 year school. So like the high school students will take math growth in certain high school math courses. So we need to get you ready for the certain courses you are gonna have next year. The importance of mindset. So first of all, I'm taking a test right now. So some students say this test is not in my report card, so it's useless. It's not important. On the contrary, guys, this test is totally important, and we need to just work properly on that test. So we need to fix first our mindset. We need to have a feedback, okay? And also we need to adapt and develop our own brain. So the growth mindset often embraces feedback, encourages learning, and also efforts. So you have a test. This test will help you in your upcoming life. So it's totally crucial and important. So please take care of math test. Try to just study for it as if it's a final exam. So this is very, very important. You need to read a lot. You need to gather the information that you have already countered for the past few years. So all of this helps you in math test. So please try to just exert a little bit more effort. For map growth by the numbers, of course, if we are looking for the numbers, plus 10 million students tested annually with map tested, and also we have more than 7,600 current educational partners. So just imagine all over the world they are having the same one in all 50 states and over 141 countries worldwide. The feature of map growth, of course, provides immediate results for students. Students' readiness to learn, flexible grouping, and also differentiation growth data. This is the one that you receive by your teacher after each of the exams. Okay, so after each exam you will receive one like this. Tells you about your level and how you started to grow. Okay, so this grows over time. Over time, we have here fall 2014 to winter 2015, spring 2015 until fall 2017. So what about the students full RIT score of 225? Place them at the 67th achievement principle. So we're speaking about, guys, your RIT. Okay, for example, I got 225 as an RIT, and right now I'm searching for a scholarship. So map test. Okay, we said that millions of students are being tested or take map test each year, and only those who are keen in giving a scholarship for a student, so the student score must be high one. If you are planning to study abroad or you are planning to enter a very decent college after high school, so you need to work hard right now. And if you got okay, like a place in the first 10 students, for example, in math test, so this will definitely guarantee that you will have a scholarship. Okay, like example number one, students spring RIT is 247. They made significantly above average growth. So their conditional growth is at the 99th percentile, and their achievement percentile increased to 91st. For example, number two, students spring has become 232. They made an average typical growth, so their condition growth is right now the 50th. And for example, number three, the RIT score is 280, so they are below average. So that's what we need from our students. All of them, we need them to become above average, not average or not even below average. Unfortunately, most of the students are being below average, and that's very, very bad because they don't take math test for serious. They just don't study enough for math test, and they just are not aware of the benefits of math. So of course, for your parents, we can also send them these reports, okay, for mathematics and also for reading. So they compare your grading level in mathematics reading and also in language usage over the years and the test that you have already taken. So what can a parent do? For your parents, what can they do? Well, they can use the result to encourage you for using growth mindset is your child, for example, is strong in literature but low in informational text. We can, of course, help him or her to find information text that would interest him or her, and also we can read and discuss news and articles together on the weekends. Like for example, in the newsella.com, okay, this one is very good, providing some good books for children. Is your child strong in reading but weak in math? So we can guide him, of course, to a website that can offer extra math practice. So simply, guys, the whole idea behind math test is four. Number one, if a student is below average, so if he is below average, like this for us, if he wasn't below average, so we find the areas of weakness and we start to advise him how to grow it. Okay, if he is an average student, son, then we just need him to become above average. So we direct him in other certain ways. If he's already an excellent student and he's above average, so all we need to do is just to advise him directly how to keep on track and how to even become greater. And that's also about the parents and what can they do. They have goal setting, they have encouragement, and also some other things. So right now, after finishing speaking about map growth and map test, and the measure of academic progress. So, what are some questions you might have? What are the questions you think of, guys, as you are in grade 9 right now, and right now perhaps you have some questions, something you must keep in mind, or anything. Yes, Abdulrahman?
Teacher, yesterday I got 271. Is it good?
That's excellent. Really, that's excellent. Bravo. Yesterday, Abdulrahman, you answered in 58 minutes.
What, teacher?
Yesterday you got 251.
Yesterday, no, 71.
Yeah.
This, I think, for the previous one.
That's fall 2019. Nice, Abdulrahman, you are number 92 in the world right now.
92?
Yes. And that's excellent.
Above the world?
Yeah, we're speaking about worldwide.
Okay. This is for grade 8, right?
Just a second, please. Okay, once it's ready. Okay. Actually, that's a great idea. Your marks are pretty good. That's very good.
Thank you.
Okay, you have an analysis system to result available in mathematics algebra to see all the test results for class report. Okay, class report. Don't name the whole class. Alright. Okay, still working on it. So once your reports are ready, guys, and of course after you finish all of your exams, okay. So once you finish all the tests in mathematics, language usage, and also in reading, you will create a PDF files and send them for both you and also your guardians. So any questions so far?
No, thank you.
Alright, great, Mariam.